pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As eagles, we soar together with steadfast support for all members of our Eagle community. We live with optimism and find the good. We accept ownership for our work and our actions, and we make amends when needed. We strive for personal and academic achievement or growth, and we forge meaningful, collaborative relationships with everyone in our Eagle community and beyond. We soar higher by lifting others.
Good morning, Eagles. I'm Nyla.
And I'm Samaya. Thank you for joining us today for the Samila Show. Today is September 11th, a day of remembrance.
On this day in 2001, our nation experienced tragic events that changed the lives of so many people.
To honor the lives lost and the bravery of the first responders and everyday heroes, we ask that you join us now in a moment of silence.
Thank you.
For lunch today, we'll be serving sweet and sour chicken with fried rice.
After school today, baseball practice will be held from 2:45 to 4 p.m.
And good luck to our softball team who will play Avant Stupid at 4 o'clock.
That includes today's announcements.
Take time to reflect and remember to support one another.
Stay classy, Mark Bills.
Mr. Hesh about 9/11. So, first question, where were you when you found out about the terrorist attacks of 9/11? How did it affect you?
I was teaching in my second year. I was teaching PE. I got called to the office to see everything go down from my principal at the time. And it was shocking more than anything. It looked like a movie happening, but it was real life. So it was a big change for everybody involved.
All right, second question. How do you think that the events on that day affected the United States?
Obviously, it's affected us a ton, not only how we interact with other countries internationally, but with our flights, security measures. Obviously, we have a lot more screening process that goes in and all that stuff. So it's a huge change.
All right, and the last question. If there's anything you want to tell anybody in this building, what would it be?
Be aware of your surroundings. Be thankful for what we have every day, because we never know when something crazy like that could happen. Or, I mean, it could be that, or it could be something small that affects not only your life, but the life of others. So appreciate every day. Make every day count.
Hi, I'm Samaya, and
I'm Nurse Brittany.
And we're going to do an interview about 9/11. So the first question is, where were you during 9/11?
During 9/11, I was in, I think, 6th or 7th grade, and I was in my social studies class, actually.
Okay. How did 9/11 change things?
I remember it was very scary, and in our social studies class, when my teacher got the notification that things were going on, he turned on the TV, we were watching it, and when everything was going on, we literally stopped everything, and the whole mood changed. It was just very scary for everybody. It just changed our entire country. It just changed the entire atmosphere of how everybody handled things, and just how everybody lived their day-to-day lives.
And why do you think it is important for students today to learn about, who weren't alive, to learn about 9/11?
Who aren't alert to?
Who weren't alive?
Oh, okay. I think it's important to learn about it because of how it affected so many things, like traveling now. How many different precautions are in place now because of travel, like for traveling. Just how it has impacted so many different people's lives, and especially families and loved ones that were lost during that time, and all of the first responders and firefighters and policemen, and the workers that were lost in the buildings, things like that. It's just important to learn about how they were affected.
Thank you, and that's it.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm Braden, and today I'm interviewing Miss Glasper about the terrorist attacks on 9/11. So first, where were you when you found out about the terrorist attacks on 9/11, and how did it affect you?
I was in between classes. My classroom was upstairs, and a student came up to me and said, "Miss Glasper, a plane went into the Pentagon." And she was kind of a silly kid. So I said, "No, it didn't." She goes, "No, it really did. It really did." Well, it was my prep the next period. So I got on the radio and started listening. And then I got really scared. I got cold and I wanted to talk to my family. My sister lived near Chicago. So I just felt this big need to talk to my family. So it was very scary.
Right, set question. How do you think that the events of that day affected the United States?
It changed some things forever. We now have all the security at airports, and they need to make sure that people who are flying are safe. So it did affect our world. At that time, it made our country closer because we felt like we were coming together for one cause, though. So that was a positive.
All right, so the last question. If there's anything you want to tell anybody in the building, what would it be?
Even though there's evil in the world, there's still much more good. And all of you guys can be a part of a positive change in our world. Keep it that way.
Miss Lyons.
And today we're going to talk about a serious subject, 9/11. How do you know about 9/11?
I know about 9/11 because I experienced it. I was in at Richwoods High School in my senior year, and I remember there being an announcement over the intercom and that a terrible tragedy had happened, and they rolled our TV into the room because we didn't have smart boards at the time. So they rolled in a TV and we turned on the news. The first tower had already been hit, and then when we were watching the news, the second tower was hit. And so we saw that live as it was happening. And it was really scary because one of my classmates and friends, Matt Chan, his brother worked inside of the World Trade buildings in New York. And so he was greatly affected by that. And we did find out later that his brother had passed away in the attacks on 9/11.
I feel bad for you, Hug.
Thank you.
Welcome. How did you feel about 9/11?
Just like many Americans, I was absolutely heartbroken. I couldn't believe that someone would plan an attack that was so devastating and that took away the lives of so many people. It was gut-wrenching.
I understand. If you want kids in the school to know about 9/11, what would it be?
That it's a day that we should treat with solemn respect for those whose lives were lost. It's a day we should remember those whose lives were lost. And it's a day where we should remember to never take anything for granted.